How you going, brothers and the occasional sister? I seem to be doing a few throwbacks. I think it's because I'm getting older and realising I'm not going to be around for a long time, and maybe these stories should be told. And anyway, I enjoy telling them. The mosquitoes are trying to bite me. My dog Poe's running around here trying to catch rats. It's about 10:30 at night. I'm enjoying a brew. Anyway, I just come back from Te Puke, and I've been working up there doing Matsudana willow cuttings. They're a plant that you can stick in the ground, and I'll tell you the whole story about that in another video sometime. It's a good one. But I just come back and I wanted to see Frosty again, and I made my way down to River Road where the hut was, and went down there. And as I got down there closer, I could hear this music coming out. Oh, pirate ships, yes, they rob I, so too they merchant ships. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit, but my hand was made strong by the hand of the Almighty. We forward this generation triumphantly. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption songs, so forth. Now, Mel, who wasn't there at the time, used to have this big beatbox. He had a great collection of Bob Marley records, but he also had a good collection of cassettes. And he was away, and one of his workers, it's May now. Well, actually, it's after May, because I've come back after the kiwi fruit, so January, February, March, April, May, it's probably June or July. And I've come back after doing the kiwi fruit season in Te Puke, and Mel's gone to do business again. Business. Mel dabbled in lots of things. And he had this dog, Frosty, which I had looked after, which at one time he paid me $100 to look after. And I'd bonded with Frosty, but he would leave Frosty behind in this hut. This hut was a hut that he used for his business. Anyway, long story short, I went up there, and one of his workers, a very unfortunate large-looking woman, was lying on the couch, and she goes, "What are you doing here?" And she hadn't seen me for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months. And I said, "Oh, I come up to see Mel and Frosty." She goes, "Oh, Mel's away down south, down the west coast, Hokitika." I said, "Okay." I said, "Where's Frosty?" "He's not here." I said, "Oh, fuck." And so I started to walk, and as I walked out, I could hear something like going, and I turned around, and here's Frosty right beside me, sniffing my cuff of my shirt, and that's his tail banging the wall, happy to see me. I turned around to the girl on the couch. I said, "Well, if Frosty's not here, who the hell's that?" She goes, "Oh, he is here." "Oh, I thought he was gone." I said, "Well, who's looking after him?" She said, "The other girl, but he's supposed to be with her." This is the same girl that's neglected him in the past. He was looking skinny again and unkept. Now, I'd been doing some possuming up in the North Island, and also a mate of mine had been getting deer, and we've been saving the pizzles and also the sinew, because you can sell it to the Chinese for aphrodisiac purposes. I don't know how ground up deer cock can make you get a stiffy, but apparently they thought it did. And so I had I had some pizzle. I wasn't going to give that away because that's actually quite valuable, but I had some sinew, so I gave Frosty that to chew on. And a girl said to me, "You want to smoke a joint?" And I said, "Yeah." So we had a smoke on the couch, and then I'm there like buzzing out, and dogs on the veranda chewing this chew, and we're listening to this Bob Marley music. It's bloody good. And I'm really got like bumblebees in my head, like I'm really buzzing, and suddenly she puts a hand on the inside of my leg, and I didn't even know what she was doing. And then she goes, "You want to have some fun?" Now, I didn't click. I thought fun would be something like we'd go eeling or something, maybe go eeling, or maybe we'd shoot some possums, the spotlight, or do a night hunt. But I didn't think her idea of fun was different. So when she said fun, I thought she meant that. So I said, yeah, what do you want to do? She said, "You ever had a gobby?" And I went, "What's that?" She said, "You don't know what a gobby is?" I said, "No." I was trying to work what that would be. Anyway, the funny thing with us blokes, is that you know you're not ever going to go there, but there's just some things that women can do that can make all your ideas and your ego about how you view yourself go right out the bloody window. So that night I learned what that was, and then I felt like shit afterwards. I walked out and I felt terrible. I couldn't get out of there quick enough. And I said to Heidi, I'm going to take the dog. I forget the other girl's name. I said, just tell her I'll bring it back in a few days. I'm going to take it hunting. So I felt really bad. Now, I was renting a place down Lodders Lane in Rawalka. It was just a wee sleep place. There's a little place there. And when I come up to my hut, I was going to keep the dog outside and put it in the woodshed because he wasn't allowed in the huts because that was the landlord's rule. The light was on in my place and there was somebody in there. And I go in there and there's this red-haired woman. She's like, absolutely gorgeous. She's got a French accent, and I said to her, you? And she said, I'm not going to do a French accent. She goes, I'm Corinne. I said, Corinne, that doesn't sound very French. She says, yeah, my dad's a Kiwi. I said, well, I haven't even heard that name in Kiwiland. She said, my mother's French. I said, okay, what are you doing in my room? She said, there's rats running around in my place. And I said to the landlord, I can't stay here, and I'm working for him. And he said that he was renting to you, but his workers came first, so I've moved into your place. I said, well, I'm not moving out. She said, yeah, well, I'm here now. And I said, well, there's only one bed. She said, that's okay, I don't mind sharing. I looked at her and I thought, fuck, I don't mind sharing either. And she said, you don't touch me though. She said, I've had a big day and I've had my dinner, I'm going to bed. I said, yeah, well, I'm going to bed too. Now, the French, a bit like the Germans, they're very natural. And she says to me, one thing is I always sleep naked, even in the wintertime. I was like, holy shit, I've just hit the bloody jackpot. Are you serious? She goes, it's natural. And she said, just because someone's naked, it's not sexual. And I'm going, yeah, right. So, because even I sleep with my undies. And I said, you know, it's funny because I also, I wasn't laughing, I was serious saying, I also only sleep naked too. She said, that's fine, just don't touch me. So she's in bed, she peels off her clothes, and we've got a candle like this burning. No, not a candle, a lamp with a glass thing on it actually. We had a lamp. We weren't allowed candles in there because it's wooden. And we had a lamp. We had no power, nothing at all. Just a lamp and a fireplace and a fire burning. And I was like seeing her go to bed, and now I'm crawling beside her, and it's a single bed. And I'm not allowed to touch her. Well, that's impossible. So she's lying there, and next minute she just starts doing this. I thought, bugging me. She's gone to sleep. She really doesn't want to do anything. And I'm like, oh, just put a hand on her shoulder. And she's like, I put a hand on her shoulder, and she goes, and moves. And then she turns around and she goes, get your hand off me. And I went, oh, I thought you were asleep. She said, I told you not to touch me. I said, well, where am I going to put my arm? It's too close. She said, stick it down by your side. I said, I can't. It's not comfortable. She said, well, you're not putting it on me. So I tried to get it comfortable. And she said, don't touch me again. And she's straight away, she's like, straight to sleep. I thought she's fucking noisy. Like, she wasn't snoring, but a noisy breather for someone that looks fit and healthy. Anyway, I didn't sleep that night. I just couldn't sleep. I couldn't get to sleep. It just wasn't going to happen. And by the morning time, I was absolutely rooted. Well, I wasn't rooted, but I was actually stuffed. I was like, I'm buggered. And in the morning, she was getting up and making breakfast, looking all great, and I'm really tired, and I'm like, fucking eyes like this. She goes, you look terrible. I said, I didn't sleep well last night. I don't. She said, look, if it's a problem, I'll get a second bed and I'll bring it in. I went, no, it's no problem at all. No, it's fine. No, it's not your fault. I just didn't sleep very well. Told a whole bunch of lies to her, and I didn't tell her that all I wanted to do was put my hands on her in the night and do something. And she was like, do you want some porridge? I said, yeah, I'll have some porridge. So she made me some porridge, and she had cream, which was great, and brown sugar, which was great. So we had porridge and brown sugar, and I fed Frosty. He was out in the woodshed. Went out there, and the landlord comes in. He goes, you have to find another place. She's taken. I said, no, we're sharing it. He says, you're not staying with her. I said, I stayed here last night with her. He says, no, you're not. You're on your bike, mate. And I said, but I don't have a place to go to. I only go back down the river. He said, well, you're going back down the river. She's not sharing that with you. She's my work, and I told you that workers were a priority. So I thought, well, I'm going to pack everything up and go back down the river. I had a place down there, a hut. Didn't have the tarpaulin on it. I'd have to build it back up again. Well, it wouldn't take me long. So I went and said to see Corinne. I said, look, I'm being kicked out because you're staying here. And she said, oh, I feel terrible. And I said, yeah, don't worry, it's not your fault. It's fair enough. We did have an agreement. He did say that workers had a priority. She said, why don't you ask him if you can work for him? He needs more pruners. I said, I don't want a prune. I've done that before. I don't want to do it. I'd rather be not working, rather not work, and be down by the river fishing and carrying on and stuff. She said, oh, I feel really bad. Is there anything I can do for you? I thought, yeah, there is. But I said, no, there's nothing you can do. So I packed all my stuff up and I went down the river and took Frosty with me down there. And we stayed down that night there, and I got a really good sleep that night and got up super early next morning. And we went over to Maraho to go for a pig hunt. And we went, those days, it's changed now, but those days it was quite hard to get there. These days there's a big walkway. We walked around the outside of the farm and there was a few sheep and bits and pieces in the paddock, and the dog was staying in close. And you got to remember, there's no tracking gear, and I walked around with this dog, and it's a farmer's paddock, and we're going into the native bush, and I was looking at the sheep, and I said, oh, it's got a couple of black sheep, they're cool. And the rest, they're not fucking sheep, they're pigs. They're bloody pigs. And so I think, it's in the paddock. Holy shit. And so I saw the dog skitch it onto the pig, but he fucking starts chasing after a sheep and doesn't see the pig and grabs the bloody thing, and I'm sprinting full tit to get him off the farmer's sheep. And I haven't got permission to be in this paddock. I'm just going across it. Give him a kick up the guts and up the arse. Get off there. And the sheep's got so much wool around it, he hasn't really done anything, and he's got wool. But this has spooked the pigs. The pigs have seen the commotion, and they've run into the native bush. And I put a bit of binder twine on the dog, and I think, we're not going to get the pigs now. And I go sprinting up to where they were. And as soon as we get onto the scent, Frosty goes straight up there. Now it's a really steep, this part's really steep just where they went. And he tracks straight away, and you just hear, whee! Straight away the squeal. He's got the first one. It's not far, it's only like 20, 30 metres. I'm sprinting in there, I get my knife out, stick it, it's about a 40 pounder, and then he's off again, because he used to do that, and probably 400 metres later, maybe not in that far, you could hear in the distance, and I just dropped the guts out of this one, and I mark out where it is, and I go flying up there, and get to it, stick it, and then when I'm coming back down the hill, I'll get back down to where the other one is, and here's the fucking farmer standing by my pig. And he goes, oh, well done, lad, you got me a couple of pigs on my land. I said, I got these in the national park. He says, you were on my land and your dog was worrying my sheep. I lied to him. I said, no, it wasn't. He said, the neighbour saw it. I said, that can't be my dog. My dog wouldn't touch sheep. He said, the neighbour said you were on the sheep. And he said, and you're gonna leave those pigs here and you're gonna fuck off my land. I was like, oh yeah, okay, I'm smashed. So that was my day rooted. And this all happened within sort of an hour. It's still early in the morning. It's like only 7:30. Nah, be later than that because it's winter and it was light. So it must have been about 8 or 9 o'clock. So I'm thinking, well, I could carry on up the national park and maybe we'd get a pig. Or I could turn around and go home. And I thought, nah, we'll carry on up. We'll carry on up to Holyoke Clearing. So we head on the inland route. We go up Tin Line. We don't catch anything up there. We walk all the way up to Holyoke Clearing. It's a big walk, for those of you who've done it. Get up there. It's filthy with goats. And in fairness, the dog didn't touch a goat. For some reason, he was actually behaving himself. And we get up there, and there's nothing. And then we come all the way down. And by there, it's sort of like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I got back down to the car park, and I'm hitching back to get back to where I was staying down the river in Motueka. When I get down, we get back there at about probably, must have been about 5 o'clock, 5:30. When I get back there, and I can hear somebody saying, hello, hello, and it's Corinne from the hut. And she's come to see me, and she's got a whole lot of stuff. And she's like, I was really thinking about you, and I was really sorry about what happened, and I bought you this food. And I said, really? She said, yeah. I said, come in. And she came into my hut. We sat down. I made her a brew in the billy. I started cooking up some meat stuff. And one thing led to another. So you'd have to just hang around for part 2, because I'm going to stop that now. It's been 15 minutes I've been yakking, and my tea's getting cold. I'll give you part 2 tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed it, and go steady. We'll see you later. My bedtime.